Warning. The following program contains strong language and subject matter which may be offensive to some viewers and/or inappropriate for children. The content within this program is intended for mature audiences only.
Well, hello there, you beautiful disappointments. Welcome to Inside the Drag Closet, the interactive vodcast where we talk about all things drag and some things that aren't. Who knows? We're really just here to have a good time. We have a really fun episode planned for you this evening. We are going to be talking to drag king DARREN TASHINE this evening. I've been chatting with him a little bit backstage. I am super excited to chat with him more. Of course, we've got my beautiful co-host Amethyst Diamond with us this evening. But let's talk about me. Why don't we? I want to. With a little bit of who, what, and where. Who am I? My name is Jade DeVere. I'm a drag performer based out of Pennsylvania. I love the art of drag, and I just got back from doing a gig. What am I wearing? I didn't want to wear what I wore for the gig earlier just because I wore it a couple weeks ago on the show. So I was like, let's do something else. So let's start at the top. My hair. My hair is from Amazon. Can you imagine? I just styled it myself. It doesn't have to be that complicated. My outfit was a gift from my sister, Sherry Trifle. She made this ages ago. The feathers are looking a little rough, but we're not going to talk about that. My jewelry, also from Amazon, a little tribute to the notorious RBG. You know, since Pennsylvania went blue mostly yesterday, I figured that'd be fun. My jewelry is, of course, Rocks by Cox. My makeup is Wet n Wild. My eyes are completely done by Morphe. My lips are the Lip Bar. I love the Lip Bar. What else I got on here? My cheeks are Juvia's Place with a little bit of Kylie. Yeah. Where can you find me? Well, you can find me every other week right here on Inside the Drag Closet on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, live at 8:30 p.m. You can also find me, you know, doing gigs, getting back out there, having fun, doing drag. We've got Divas Down Under the first Friday of every month. We are actually getting ready for our holiday show. It seems like it showed up so quickly this year. But we're going to have our Jingle Bell Rock Drag Show with Poison, myself, Chastity Vane, Diamond Taylor, Katarina Couture, Amethyst Diamond, and Pola Frost. So make sure you get your tickets for that. You know what? I could sit here and talk all night, but I don't want to be alone up here. I want to bring in my beautiful sister. You know her and love her. Put your hands together for your new Miss Gay Maryland America, Amethyst Diamond. Put some makeup on, girl. Just a little bit more. A little bit.
Oh, hi. I'm so sorry, girl.
It's all right, girl.
I am so sorry. Hold on. You know. Hold on. All right, I'm better.
You know what's funny? I was just about to do the same thing.
Low gloss, honey. Just low gloss. That's all. That's all we're doing tonight.
How are you, sis?
I'm doing really good, actually. I'm doing well. Life is good. Life is busy, but highly blessed and highly favored, and we're doing the Lord's work. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you want to give the kids a little who, what, where about you?
Oh, fine. You talked me into it. Twist my arm. What's going on, everybody? It's your girl, Amethyst Diamond. I'm also, check it out, Miss Gay Maryland America 2022. How are we doing tonight? It is Wednesday night. It is time yet again for Inside the Drag Closet. What am I wearing tonight? Well, let's start with the top. I'm wearing the Miss Gay Maryland America crown. Lovely. Made by Lucinda Holiday herself, which goes with this set of jewelry as well. This is the official America crown jewelry. Very nice, very nice. This hair is made by Sunny Delight, the reigning Miss Continental. The makeup tonight is MAC and Morphe, and some other sprinkles here and there. This little frock is blue tonight because we wear blue in Pennsylvania. Woo woo! It is from Fashion Navy because it's blue. That's what it is. You can find me every other Wednesday right here. ITDC. Hope I spelled that right. Inside the Drag Closet. That's right. 8:30 live with that hoe. With that hoe right there.
And my Fashion Navy.
Fashion Navy. Huh? No, you're Fashion Ivory tonight, huh? You're Fashion Ivory. Very nice. I'm on the IG too, the Instagram, Amethyst_Diamond 1 or something like that. You'll find me.
She's got her Venmo down there.
Yes, paid for something.
Girl, what is up with you?
I don't know. I put this face on in like 25 minutes. It's cool.
It looks flawless too.
And you're correct.
All righty, let's see who's chiming in tonight. Of course, Derek is here. Our wonderful friend Ephraim is watching this evening.
Hi, baby.
Ephraim, we have missed you. We adore you. Miss Tammy is watching tonight. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Mom. Sorry I couldn't come over and give the cat her medicine tonight.
She kind of had something to do tonight.
I had several things. I had a meeting before this.
Kitty DeVille saying, hoping you're having a perfect Wednesday. Jess is watching this evening. Hey, Booze. Did someone say Booze?
Hey, boobs.
Hayden, Amethyst, I love that hairstyle on you.
Thank you. It's very natural. I just had, a little crimp and curl. That's all.
It looks so good.
It's cute, right? That's cute.
We got a lot of people popping in tonight. Fantastic. Well, Hunt, do you want to meet our special guest for the evening?
Yes, very special indeed, because tonight we bring you a king.
We love our kings here on Inside the Drag Closet, and we are so excited to welcome to all of you, all the way from Providence, Rhode Island. Put your hands together for DARREN TASHINE.
Hi.
Hi, DARREN. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. I'm so excited to be here tonight.
I can tell that you're amazing. You are oozing amazeness.
Is it the fact that you can't see my eyes because my cheeks have just eaten them? That's when you can tell I'm really happy, is they're just gone.
Hey.
But it works.
I love happy people.
Yeah. You have a joy that just radiates.
Aw, it's not just the layers of makeup and highlighter.
No, honey, no, you woke up like that. I know.
Oh, yes. It's a flawless pompadour just straight from the bed.
Absolutely, and that's your business.
Well, DARREN, why don't you give the kids a little who, what, where about you?
Absolutely. Hi, I'm DARREN TASHINE. I am from Providence, Rhode Island. What am I wearing? I'm actually very excited to share this because it is my wife's jacket. It's her cryptid jacket. So she's got all of these little cryptozoology patches on the shoulders, with Medusa and UFOs and stuff. And then this harness is probably from Amazon. As far as the makeup goes, that is ColourPop and blanking on what I used for a contour. Revlon, I'm pretty sure. And then a lot of glitter. Eco glitter though. I don't know. That's about it. It's nothing that fancy.
But it looks so good.
Oh, thank you.
So DARREN, you are a baby king.
Very, yeah. I started in April of this year.
Wow.
Surprise!
Well, good for you.
Thank you. I just got very obsessed very quickly and was like, you know what? I think I need to do this a lot.
That's fantastic. For only doing that for what is that, 6 months, 7 months?
Something like
Oh my
that, yeah.
God. Well, you already are and are going to be even more amazing. I can
Oh,
tell
thank
already.
you.
Yeah, you were meant to do this. I can tell. Yeah.
It's very much been like, wait, all the things that I am good at somehow all fit finally, like art and makeup and being bizarre.
Exactly.
Well, do you mind telling us a little bit about your drag journey and how you ended up here?
Yeah, how far back do you want to go?
Let's just go
All
for
the
the
way.
last couple years.
Okay,
All the
last
way.
couple years. Ooh, they're a roller coaster. So last couple years, I was in COVID. I was married to a man, and that relationship did not go terribly well. So then I left that relationship, right? COVID sort of brought things to light where it's like, maybe I could be happier and healthier elsewhere. And then I just was like, okay, world, hi. I'm pretty sure I'm gay. I'm not sure, but I think I am, and I'm just gonna go frolic now. And then, yes, in fact, I am gay, which is delightful to find out. And I ended up uh, randomly matching with my now wife on Bumble because I was at a Rhode Island veterinary because my cat was really sick, and I was just swiping because I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna see who's around, and it was an hour away. In classic lesbian fashion, she
Okay.
lived an hour away from me because I happened to be close while I was at the emergency vet.
Uh-huh.
And then we just really hit it off, properly U-hauled, and like a year and 6 months later, we got married, and now here I am in Providence, and I decided, hey, Providence is cool. And then also drag happened. So my
Wow.
wife Alex actually introduced me to drag kings specifically. Like I knew RuPaul's Drag Race. I've seen queens. Like the first time I saw a queen was at an ABBA revival concert when I was like in middle school. And I was like,
Of course.
why are all those beautiful women just all up front, just like singing along with everything? And my dad was like, those are drag queens, my dear. And I was like, wow, that's cool. And that was all I knew about it until my wife brought me to a Randy Andy drag show. And it was the Halloween spectacular last year. It's called Stranger Kings. And I was just wowed. I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. There's so much like theater involved and all of the makeup and just so much joy oozing off the stage. And then the next show I went to, Randy Andy was like, hey, I'm doing a workshop. If anyone wants to learn how to do drag, hit me up after the show. And I was
Wow.
so terrified, but like, I'm going to go talk to this person. I've never talked to this person. I've seen them in shows and I'm very intimidated. And I went and talked to them and I ended up in into the workshop in another bizarre way, but it ended up working out really well. And ever since then, I've just been like, oh my God, this is the best thing in my life and best thing ever.
That's
You
awesome.
radiate so much joy. It's so fun to watch you.
We're just
I'm
gonna
like
wind you
trying
up
to
right
tone
there.
it down just enough so I can get words out because I'm like, oh, just like bubbly.
No. We're gonna wind you up and we're gonna just let you have it.
Yep.
Yep.
Just be bouncing the whole time.
That's
We did get a
fine.
couple comments. First comment was, hi, Daddy, swoon.
Oh, well, hello.
That's from my
Uh-huh.
husband.
I
Is
love
that
it.
Everyone's excited. Ephraim loves your makeup.
Why, thank you.
The color palette you chose was just so good.
Ah,
absolutely?
I tried this one out first when I was doing pretty recently. I was doing a cameo at a belly dance show with my friend Joyce, and she was one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse. She was death, so I was the plant in the audience that got to die. She gave me the kiss of death, and then I just like collapsed on the stage and very strategically did not move for another like 12 minutes. I don't know. I was there for a little while. Felt like forever, but I was like, don't breathe. you are dead now. And I went with kind of a Jersey Devil thing so that I would match my wife's outfit, because she had like this cute little like varsity jacket with one of her cryptid patches that was for the Jersey Devil, the Pine Barrens. So I was her Jersey Devil and she was part of the athletics department.
Oh,
That's fantastic.
Which is why the red contours and stuff have become a favorite now, actually.
I like it.
Thank you.
Hiding in plain sight would like to know, do you stencil your mustache and beard or do them freehand, or are they the sticker cuts?
So this is all freehand. I'll come closer for you. Hello, this is my mustache today. Oh, yes. So I actually got this question a lot on TikTok, so I made a tutorial on how I do my glitter beard, because I like a really crisp glitter beard. And basically it's eyeshadow brush that you use for like eyebrows and eyeshadow to start, and then it's eyelash glue and some patience with some glitter. Smaller glitter makes it look crisper, but you can get it with a pretty chunky glitter too, which I've done before. But it's mostly freehand. When I do like a full beard, I actually have something called the Cut Buddy. That is this little like tool people use to like shave their beards. And I use it to trace where I want my beard. That way I can get it even on either side. Otherwise, it's mostly freehand. The trick is to use features of your own face to help map it out. So like I always use the creases of my face to get where the points of the mustache are going. So that way it moves with me.
Nice.
You are going to be something else, my friend. Paying attention to details like that are what makes great entertainers.
Well, thank you. I don't know. I think because I've come from a background in the entertainment industry, but not as an entertainer. I've been an artist for a long time, a scenic artist, set designer, costume designer. So I'm just bringing all of that like expertise to my face. I've also done special effects makeup for some really bad horror movies, like those things you see on the Sci-Fi Channel in the middle of the night. You're welcome. / I'm sorry.
Hey.
I love this comment. You're doing great, babe. Love Darren's biggest fan.
Aw, that's my wife. Thanks, Al.
That's your wife?
That's my wife, yeah.
Oh, hi, wife.
Aww.
Hi. Oh, I love that so much. That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Amethyst, do you have any questions for Darren?
Yeah, I have several questions, actually. So you said you initially started at a tutorial class to learn how to do makeup?
It was how to do drag specifically, actually. So Randy Andy kind of talked us through the history of drag. Don't quiz me on that. I don't remember a lot other than Shakespeare.
That's okay.
And we got some lessons on makeup, we got lessons on lip syncing, and we got a lot of help with actually creating our drag personas. And then one of the really great things about the workshop was at the end of the workshop, we get a debut show. So we get a chance to get on stage and just be like, okay, I'm ready. I've like taped my chest down to the point where I can't breathe, and let's see how this goes.
Wow, so that was like boot camp for drag almost.
Basically, yeah. It was especially for me because I had been on a movie like during the beginning of the workshop. It was supposed to be a full month-long kind of thing, and I showed up at the last like week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, and I was like, okay, I'm back. I really want to do drag. Please just like give me the quick notes version, and I'm gonna do my best. I promise I will show up and be as glittery as possible.
Do you have a favorite drag king performer?
Drag king performer? Oh, there's a lot. I think I gotta say my drag dad, Randy Andy, is definitely up there because that was one of the first people I ever saw on stage as a drag king, and I was just like, wait, I could do drag? That's so cool. They're also hilarious, and they have such a raunchy, I mean, their name is just perfect for them. Randy, Andy, they have such raunchy, funny skits and things. Landon Sider from Dragula is another one that I really admire. I don't know how the heck they do their eyebrows, and I study their makeup so hard, and I will figure it out someday.
Yeah, Landon's definitely a very good source of inspiration for. He's like one of the drag kings that really just takes it all the way there, like beyond 100%. So he's very creative. So that's good that he inspires you, and you can see that in your style of makeup as well.
Oh, thank you. That is incredibly flattering.
Hey,
I think they're
Jade,
incredible.
We both did drag back in Drag King back in March of this year. Was that this year or last year?
I think that was last year.
Oh my God, last year. It's almost next year.
It is.
Right?
Wow. So yeah, I definitely used a lot of Landon Sider's inspiration for my look. As did Jade. With
in this hair.
Oh, I love it.
Hair?
It's the exact same hair.
Oh, that's great.
Same. Yes. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
But that was a fun night, and it was such an eye opener because I was talking about this at my event earlier. Just kings don't get the recognition that queens do. And I think it's because people are easy to dismiss it as not as tough or not as difficult. Let me tell you, painting on chest hair was one of the hardest things I have ever done.
Yeah.
Right.
I avoid it. My drag brother Russell Sprout, that Russell Sprouts with an S. He's a vegan king, in case you were wondering. He's incredible.
I'm done. Interview's over. I'm out.
He always does the chest hair, but he does the crepe hair, so he'll do glue and then glue on little bits of hair, and he does like amazing mutton chops as well. And he was another performer that I saw before I started doing drag that I was just like, oh my God, you're so funny, and this is so clever, and it's so amazing and so inspiring.
And it's that level that honestly, I think that's the level that needs to be done as far as, being a drag king. It's so much more. You have to take it to the extremely next level. And I think for kings to be more recognized, it needs to be on that level. We
got to glitter and shine right there with our queens.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Well, and I think it's becoming more, I think show directors are becoming more open-minded to it, because drag used to be more about, especially femme drag, was more about female impersonation, female illusion. But now it's almost deviated more to the art form, which allows the more avant-garde kings to really shine. I remember when treats started, they were constantly hearing, why are you wearing lashes? Be a man. And I'm like, that's shit I heard growing up. And queer people are telling you to be a man. And they were like, no, I'm going to be a gay as fuck femmy guy. And they were. At one point, I remember being backstage with them. Trigger warning, I'm going to say a word now that most people are not going to like. Treats looked at me and went, do I look like a big old fag in this outfit? And I was like, yes, you do. And they were like, oh, thank God.
Aw.
You said dyke.
Because it's them. And I was just like, yeah, they know what they're going for.
I love it. I do have been, even though I've only been doing this like a couple of months at this point, I do kind of find playing with the gender expression very fun, where sometimes Darren is just an incredibly actually, he's always an incredibly flamboyant gay man.
Great.
And even tonight I was like, did I do too much feminizing with the eyes? And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have spiky eyebrows and it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be great. Or even just having like chest, like having boobs sometimes, and that is also just, it's fun to play with it and be like, one of my pieces actually that I really love to do is lesbian vampires from outer space, because that's a song. And if you haven't heard it, you should, because it's hilarious. But part of that piece was, originally I was in a show called Bashers of the Binary, and the whole point was to really just mess with gender expression and allow it to be whatever it is. We had non-binary performers. We had monarchs, drag monarchs. We don't need to have king or a queen. We can be anything in between. So for that one, I started off very masculine, and then in the reveal is like, oh, that is Elvira Cleavage. Hello, I'm a lesbian. Yes.
Oh, God.
Same.
Right. Right.
And on this topic, Orion has a really good question here. Is your drag more an extension of yourself, or is it more someone you wish you could be?
It's actually a combination of things, I think. So it's a lot of like, I was the theater kid who was too shy to ever really like, I did it though. I would get up on stage and I'd be like, okay, I'm auditioning. That went terrible. I'll try again. It'll be fine. And like, it's so interesting now that I've been doing drag because I've just been playing. I've allowed it to be playful and let it be fun. If I want to be the spaceman, I'm the spaceman. If I want to be the gay pirate swinging around a flag, I am that gay pirate. It's just joyful. And it's a lot of just being able to role play, I guess, all the parts that I never had the strength of like confidence to do before. And just be like, okay, well, you know, maybe Jeanette isn't like confident for that, but Darren is. Darren doesn't care at all. Go for it, Darren. So it's a little bit of an extension of like who I want to be, but it's also very much an expression of who I was inside before I finally found this confidence and my voice. And that's partly been through even just like coming out and being able to recognize, oh yeah, I'm not what I thought I was. I'm not hetero anything. I'm a lesbian. Wow, that's cool to realize. And being able to just be loud about that and to again just like put this on and be whoever I want to be is very freeing. I don't know if I answered that question. I may have gone off on a little bit of a tangent.
But no, it was a good tangent. It was a very important tangent.
Oh, good.
Surprise, I'm a lesbian. You know,
surprise.
I think that's a good thing about drag, is I think through drag, we discover parts of ourselves that we were unsure of or afraid to actually jump into and showcase to the world. So we do those things while we're in drag to kind of test the waters, just to see. And I found it, I've been doing this for 24 years. So now things that I used to be afraid to do as myself, as Dustin, that I was not afraid to do as Amethyst, I can now do as myself because I've built up that confidence level. You know, it's kind of like Amethyst was my shield just to test things out and see how I could do it. And it works out. So I think we really discover a lot about ourselves through drag. And that's the wonderful, magical thing about drag as well, is that it teaches us. We really dive into parts of ourselves that we didn't quite realize were there until we put all on. So, yeah.
I absolutely agree. Where it's like unlocking little pieces and giving you a safe space to really just express whatever you want to.
Exactly. We did get another question here. Where can we find your tutorials?
Oh, I get to plug my TikTok? Why, thank you.
Absolutely.
So I'm TikTok is where I have the tutorials, and on Instagram I reposted them there as well. So it's at Darren.Tashine on TikTok and Darren Tashine on Instagram with no spaces.
Hold on, I'm doing the Instagram thing. Hold on. Do the Instagram one again.
Darren Tashine, no spaces.
Tashine. Darren
Tashine. At one point I was gonna do this, but you know, that's a bit hard to hold on to.
I bet, don't you know, because I go right to Wisconsin.
Oh yeah, I have a lot of family in Michigan, so that don't you know? Oh, I have an Aunt Jo who just talks like this all the time, and everything's so cute, don't you know? And you know, it's like it's easy. I do a lot of accents.
We've got to do a live call to her. I want to hear her speak.
She has the best accent in the world. She's such a sweet lady.
That's awesome.
My husband just brought up an interesting point. We were talking about Land Insider a little while ago, And this is a very valid point. Landon is finally getting a lot of notice. And while I'm truly happy for their success, I hope it doesn't turn into thinking that Landon's style is the only way kings are supposed to look. I'm not going to lie. I have that concern too, because I'm noticing a lot more kings doing what Landon does.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
I think it's a
too.
good inspiration point, and it's definitely cool to see such a graphic style done. But I mean, I also have watched like tons of tutorials from queens, and that's where like my contouring is very much from queen tutorials. And then I kind of just found like Landon has a very clear graphic style that makes it easier to figure out how to augment the panes of your face. So instead of like when you're feminizing, you know, you kind of round things out, and Landon does very sharp details. And then that kind of helped me figure out, oh, so if I want to do more of a contour, like a blended contour, but get the sharpness, I can kind of like start with their shapes and blend from there. So I do hope that people see Landon's style as a starting point and then experiment and explore, because you're right, there's so many different expressions of drag and drag makeup, and that's part of the fun of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Speaking of drag, Caitlin would like to say thank you for the shout out.
That would be my drag bro, Russell Sprouts. Hi, Russell.
Yeah.
That name is so good.
It's so good.
That's what I call my boyfriend, because his name's Russell. I'm like,
well, if you ever need a king on the show that is just gonna like sling really clever puns the entire time, that is the person you want.
Okay, what date do you want, Russell? Let us know.
The pen is out,
Russell. Friend request on Facebook. We'll talk.
We'll have our people call your people.
Exactly.
Perfect.
And by our people, she means me.
Yeah.
Here's a fun, super random question. If anybody else has questions, feel free to send them in. What is your favorite part of Thanksgiving dinner?
It'd probably be the pumpkin pie. Asterisk. The gluten-free vegan pumpkin pie, because I have so many food allergies that if I get to actually eat the dessert at Thanksgiving, it is a joyful experience.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
How about you, Amethyst?
Oh, God, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. I love all of it. Oh, it's so hard. It's not turkey. It's not the turkey. It's not the turkey. I really like the stuffing. I don't know.
Good.
I like corn, and I like mashed potatoes, and I like sweet potatoes, and I like pecan pie, and yeah.
Everything but the turkey.
Everything. All of it.
I have to agree. I love it all. I do, however, love stuffing with some of the turkey and some of the gravy on it.
Oh, so you can mix all your food together? You're not one of those people who's like, my food can't touch?
It depends on which food. My corn can't touch anything.
Oh.
Wow.
I don't know.
It doesn't touch anything inside you either. It just comes right back out.
Right. And it's all gonna mash up in there. I don't know why. The corn can't touch stuff.
That's so funny.
That's so funny.
Right?
I like cooking Thanksgiving. I think my favorite part about Thanksgiving is having friends and family over and just making the food. I think that's my favorite part of Thanksgiving, because I've always been the person to cook usually. And I will say that I hate it as much as I love it. But yeah, just having everybody over and preparing a meal, and yeah, that's my favorite part. Thanksgiving
that is what makes it special.
Yeah.
We've been I've slowly been accepting the fact that this is my first Christmas without my grandmother. We used to do Thanksgiving there too, but she wasn't able to make Thanksgiving dinner anymore. So we usually do that with my in-laws. This year we were trying to put together a last minute Thanksgiving thing, and I realized it was too late for me to request off from work for Thanksgiving.
Aww.
And I emailed my scheduler and she was like, "Why are you requesting off? We don't work Thanksgiving."
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is the second year my job has been closed on Thanksgiving, because it was always open on Thanksgiving before, but they've decided, you know what? No, we can't keep doing this.
Good.
Plus,
I like
numbers
that.
were up that day anyway.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, granted, we're not going to do a Thanksgiving thing now anyway. But I have that day off.
Yeah, it's
You can do whatever you want with it now.
The day after, I'm going to be hanging out with Mrs. Claus all day.
Love it.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. She's a joyful lady.
Hey, she better be.
Yep.
She had better be.
Bring some cookies.
We got another question here from Ephraim. He wants to know, Darren, do you have any desire to compete for titles?
Until I heard your episode about pageants the other week, I hadn't even thought about that. I'm just like happy to show up on any stage anywhere at this point. And then my wife was like, you know, you could compete for like Miss Lesbian Rhode Island. And that's a thing? I had no idea. Why not? That'd be cool. It'd be fun to do.
Miss Lesbian Rhode Island.
Yeah. That's a crown I would wear with joy.
There you go. So would that be for drag queen?
For that?
I don't know. I'd probably do it as Jeanette, and then I guess my talent would be Darren here.
There you go.
But I think they do that in like Pride Month, so I'll have to figure out how to do that. If anyone sees this and is like, "Hey, Darren, here's how to do that," please let me know.
Well, you do more than just drag as well.
I do. Behind me is a bunch of my art. I am also a just kind of Gothic artist. I illustrate books and have done a lot of podcast art and paintings and films and things like that. But mostly I focus on art these days.
That's fantastic.
Thank you.
I didn't realize those were all yours. That's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, all of that's mine, actually. And this one was for a show. He's immortalized because it was the one show that I did not get to go on stage for because I dislocated my knee the night before. This is the judge. We were doing fundraising for abortion rights. And he sadly never made it to the stage, but at least he gets to be on the podcast.
Oh, that's so cool.
He's a lot of glitter. Hang on, let me. Can you see the glitter? No, not really. Well, you know.
It's just so good. Like, you are such a well-rounded performer.
Thank you.
And we were talking a little bit before about you know, finding out what kings were and becoming a king. Have you thought about being a queen as well?
I think it'd be fun. Absolutely. Although I do get a lot of joy out of presenting more masculine, actually. I think because when I'm myself, I am very much like the goth queen in my own head. So I do a lot of just decadent dressing up in my normal day-to-day life anyway.
Gotcha. So you are a drag queen in your day-to-day.
Basically, yeah.
Just gotta butch it up at night.
Yeah. There's something fun and kind of liberating about not having to, for example, sit with my legs crossed. I don't have to do that. I can just roll around on the stage or be weird. There was a piece I did in Stranger Kings this year where I was one of the bats in the ensemble, and because of my gimpy knee, I could not run around the audience like the other bats. But I just kind of flopped around on the stage awkwardly and was like, "Hi, I'm the doofy bat. This is great fun. Now I will scurry around like a bat." But it's just, there's something liberating about being more masculine where I can just embrace that goofy, weird side and not have to be quite so elegant, which is how I normally feel like I need to present myself. I don't know if I actually do that. I think I'm kind of weird all the time, but you know.
Gosh.
Nah.
Presenting feminine and having to be elegant. I've never been burdened with that.
I'm so proud of you.
My dumb ass just flopping around on a stage in full drag.
I love it.
I've seen her do it.
There's video evidence. You know,
That's the way
Jade
to
did a
do
flip
it.
when all you can hear from the stage is oh God.
So I see.
Go
There's
ahead.
another question in the chat from Diana, and I was wondering the same thing. Do you have any advice for young artists asking for their eldest child, not themselves?
Yeah. Best thing, find your joy in it. That's the most important thing. Whatever your medium, whatever your topic, make it be something that you are interested in, because the more you make it, the better you will get, and the more experience and opportunities you will get. And don't be afraid to share it until it's perfect. Works in progress are beautiful.
That's one thing I notice with a lot of performers that will go through and like change, like get rid of old pictures of themselves. I keep my original pictures of badges of honor. I'm just like, that's where she was. This is where she is now that she's smarter and knows a bit more.
Right. The journey's beautiful. And I'm a little weird. I have like a whole library of sketchbooks that I've had since I was a kid because of that exact same thing. I like to go back and be like, look at where I was, look at who I was and how much I've grown since then and how much I've learned since then. I even, out of frame, have a whole wall of kind of not necessarily ugly paintings, but like ones that aren't necessarily as polished and beautiful as I would like for other people to see. But I like keeping them up there to remind me, you started here. This is beautiful. Or, oh, actually, I've got one on the floor right here. Haha. So this was from high school. Let me get it actually in frame. There we go. And I keep it around because I'm like, wow, I did that. And I've always loved creepy, weird, spooky things. And I literally keep this high school thing that I got to be in a play in because it just reminds me of the joy I had when I started it. And it's so easy to get kind of wrapped up in like, how do I make a living off of this? How do I, make enough? How do I get popular with it? Those things shouldn't matter when you're just focused on the art. And when you focus on just making something beautiful and making the craft the thing that you're focused on, the rest will come. As long as you share it. You gotta let people in. That's an important part.
That is excellent. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's so true. There were a couple other questions here that where'd it go? Tiffany would like to see you compete for Lancaster Pride next year. I mean,
okay,
probably a long drive. I'm literally Googling how long it would take you to drive down here.
I'm not afraid of a road trip or a plane ride.
Good.
I grew up in a military family, so until recently, I never really had like a home base that I felt like, oh, I've got roots here. Traveling I was more nomadic in my soul than I ever was like any home base. So like traveling's just kind of normal.
Wow.
It's about a 6-hour drive.
Oh, easy peasy.
I think we know the answer to this by now, but Darren, how did you come up with your drag name?
It was a sleepless night spent tweeting. Well, RIP Twitter. But I just like, oh, I'm sorry, too soon?
It's not dead yet. He'll kill it.
Okay, it's still twitching. But I was like up in the middle of the night and I just started tweeting random names and I was like, I need a name. I need something clever because I want something that's like a little bit punny. And I just like the stream of consciousness list just kept tweeting random like dumb name jokes until I think the second to last one was Darren Tashine. And I was like, that has a nice ring to it. And then I debuted with it and I've grown very attached to this name since then because it is just kind of like, yeah, Damn right I'm daring to shine. I'm not hiding in the closet anymore. I am not hiding who I am anymore. I am here. I am allowed to be joyful and bright and happy, and I'm going to put glitter on everything.
All they will see me from space. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's so cool. How long do you see yourself doing drag, Darren? Is this something that you're going to do for the rest of your life?
I would love to. I would love to be a crotchety, probably not crotchety, but like an old lady who just like still painting on my glitter beard and telling stories to the kiddies at drag time. I'm gonna just read to them in the library because I can't dance anymore. I can't dance as it is. Let's be honest. These knees are so old.
As
but
long
I'm
as
gonna
you
keep trying.
As long as you talk exactly like that, I'm in. Yeah.
This is how I imagine I will talk when I am an old woman.
Somehow we shrivel up vocally. You know?
Yeah.
We just manifested. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show.
Welcome. I'm just assuming that by that point I will have been screaming at like concerts and things for so long my vocal cords will be just shut. Thankfully, lip syncing does not require too much of your vocal cords, so maybe I have a chance to still have some sort of a voice when I'm an older person.
Nice. Have you written any graphic novels?
Not yet. I have sort of I don't know how to describe it. It has been published technically through Siren's Call magazine. I have something called Alice and the Toy Maker. It was a Inktober prompted series, and I did an entire book's worth of art in a month that also had a story written along with it. I posted it on my blog mostly so that I could get that, copyright TM, like proof of concept in there. And then just as a short story, it ended up published in Siren's Call magazine, which was very cool. It is getting novelized, as in I have been working on it and writing it out. We'll see whenever that reaches the light of day, but it is something that I, in my sleepless nights, I have insomnia. I spend lots of nights just like, how do I keep myself entertained for 8 hours while I'm supposed to be sleeping? And usually I'll write or draw or now I have TikTok. Oh dear, TikTok.
Relatable.
Fix it, Jesus. Lord, fix it, Jesus. Not the TikTok.
I do have other books that are published with my illustrations, though. My good friend Patrick Rahal and we had started a series of horror haikus as a series on my blog, which is horrormade.com. And every week we'd come out with a 2-sentence horror story or a horror haiku, and we started something called #HorrorHaikusDay. After several years of creating these, where I would make an illustration to pair with his like weird, quirky poem, we actually put them all together into a collection, and now that is out in the world. It was in Barnes and Nobles, which was a cool moment in my life, and be like, that's my book at like a real store. What? Oh. And that one's called How Much Do You Tip an Exorcist?
I have a lot.
No one knows. You got to read the book to find out.
How to tip an exorcist?
How much do you tip an exorcist? I think some of these illustrations, yeah, this one is from that book. There's a couple of them up here that are from it, actually. The just the original like ink sketches. I cut them up and put them on a door because that brings me joy.
I need to find this book. I need to find all of you need to go out and find this book immediately. I need to know.
I am posting the Amazon link in the chat.
Amazing.
Right now.
Did you find it?
I sure did.
And you did all the illustrations for this book?
I did, yeah. My art's been published in a few books, but that one I'm particularly fond of because that was like a collaborative journey with Patsy Rahal and I.
Wow.
Oh, that looks fun.
Are there any other fun, unique talents you possess?
At one point before I pierced my septum, I could do what I call duck face and actually have my lip fully seal my nose. but I can't anymore because now there's a piece of metal. I'm sure that's not what you were asking for, but that was the first thing that popped into my
Oh, honey, but it was the answer I didn't know I needed. It was perfect.
Yeah, this is like such the fun like pageant interview right now. Like, what is a skill? I can do this. Well, we weren't aware that's what we wanted, but yes, that's what we wanted.
You're welcome. I don't know.
No.
I've done so many things in my life that it's always kind of shocking when I'm like, oh yeah, I've done, this, that, and the other thing. And people are like, how have you possibly done all of those things? Like, I don't know. I just have ADHD and I just go where my joy leads me.
Right. Turn your flaws into facets. That's my
Exactly.
motto.
Yeah. And do what you enjoy. Like
Exactly.
we talk about that all the time. Do what you enjoy.
You have to.
If you're not like if you're just grinding through life, you're not living, you're existing.
Yes.
Like,
very much that part.
Speaking of, and this question from Orion kind of fits in perfectly with what we're talking about. How do you deal with it when people try to make you conform to a certain standard?
I'm a Cancer, so I usually cry about it. and then I don't do what they ask me to do.
Valid.
I think a good example of that is when I go to the grocery store in full goth regalia, and frequently I very much upset people because either they're like, wow, that's cool, or they're like, oh my God, is she going to curse me and the soup? Maybe. Only by existing, though, I promise. I'm a good witch.
We use our powers for good.
Absolutely.
Here's another really good question. We're going to all answer this one because I love it. What is the weirdest thing you've ever been tipped? Mine was a soft pretzel.
Oh, no.
I just had some fried rice from the gig I just did.
That is valid. That's a weird tip.
Hold on.
Oh, and I got a swag bag.
That's pretty nice, though.
Thanks, Yelp.
Oh.
I didn't even look at what's in this yet.
The weirdest tip. I mean, you never want to get pennies. That's a cute cup.
Right?
I get some pretty cool tips, like unique tips.
Yeah.
I get a lot of origami tips. Like this is like a little heart dollar.
Aww.
Oh, you keep those too?
I
That
do.
is so cute. That's so cool.
A little heart. I also got a crane.
I was just gonna say that's from Racehorse.
Yes.
That's so cute. I can't believe it flaps and everything. That's awesome.
I am so impressed. I will keep it for the rest of my life. And I got a t-shirt.
Aww. That's awesome.
Cute. So Smurf, if you're watching, your t-shirt is still folded very nicely. So yeah.
I mean, I've had people give me books before, which is always a nice tip, but it's usually from the author and they sign it and I'm like, wow, that's cool. Thanks.
It was the Bible, wasn't it? It was.
Thankfully not.
Here you go.
Wow.
Thanks.
So good. Such a classic.
I don't mind getting candy as a tip. That's always nice.
I had a reverse tip that's an entertaining story, i.e. someone stole something from me.
Oh, wow.
You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, I was invited to perform down in Atlanta, Georgia as a live painter. It was for a podcast, the Wicked Library podcast, and we were doing story readings, and I was painting along with the stories so that as the story progressed, the story was revealed in the painting. And we did the first one and I put it up front so that people could see it. And we get started on the second one. And there's this kid, this very drunk kid who had been very noisy throughout the entire evening already. And I hear him as I'm painting saying, "Oh my God, that is the most amazing painting I've ever seen. I need it." And then the this kid in the middle of the second story scoots up to the stage like a Scooby-Doo villain, grabs the painting and goes, "Sorry," makes direct eye contact, and just yoink, and just like runs out of the theater. And I go, "Oh, well, that sucks. I gotta keep up with this story, and we'll deal with that later." And did not react at all, other than, "Good job, kid."
That's ridiculous.
And no one knew. No one knew. People on stage thought, oh, maybe it's someone from the house bringing it out, because we were going to auction it off for charity afterwards. And then anyone in the audience thought it was part of the show. And I was the only one sitting there being like, some drunk college kid just yoinked my art. I am flattered.
Like, I mean, you're frustrated, but at the same time, you're like, I'm theftable.
I'm theft worthy. That's pretty awesome.
That's when you know you've made it, when people want to steal it.
When they can't help it. It's just too important. They need it right now.
Exactly. And I mean, that'll be the story for that painting. You will live forever now. So
yeah. I do like to think that this kid hopefully has hung on to this painting that he stole from a live show, and like has that moment of like, yeah, I stole from Picasso or something, you know. Not that I'm Picasso at all, but to this kid, I might be.
True.
And we'll go with that.
You've inspired.
Right.
Kitty DeVille would like to know, as a newer performer, do you find it harder to connect with the audience when you use music that isn't so mainstream?
Not really, not yet anyway. I have used pretty pop music so far, things that people will know the lyrics to. Like Uptown Funk, and I've got one for Unholy coming up soon. But I also do actively go try to find weird songs like Lesbian Vampires from Outer Space, because it just brings me joy to be like, hey guys, you didn't know you needed this, but you need this song in your life, and I'm bringing it to you right now.
That's fantastic.
I love stuff like that, when you're just like, what is going on? And I love it.
It makes me really happy too, especially like when I'm doing audio mixing and things like that. It's that's another thing I do. I guess that's another skill, to take pieces of things and kind of piece it all together. There's one that I'm putting together for our holiday show, the Randy Holiday Express. That's in December, and I've got a whole storyline built up around Unholy, where Krampus, which is who I will be, discovers Santa being a naughty boy at the body shop. And it actually opens with a remixed song from Nightmare Before Christmas. That's Oogie Boogie's song. So it's, well, 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 what have we here? Santa Claus, huh? You know. And then it goes to Unholy, and then it cuts to a cover of Unholy that's from the woman's perspective, his wife's perspective, where she does know he's doing something unholy at the body shop, and it's going to be from Mrs. Claus' point of view, and then it'll progress from there. But it was fun to find, like, go hunting for remixes and like parodies of the song until I found one that just like brought that story to that next part where it's like, oh no, Mrs. Claus knows, and she's going to make some new choices in life now.
That's so fun. You're
We
so
need to hang
clever.
Oh, thank you.
We definitely need to hang out sometime.
I would love to.
Amy and I are going to come up and visit Providence.
I have a couch and an air mattress.
Fabulous.
Game on.
Perfect.
Fabulous.
We still have more questions coming in. We have a lot of people watching tonight, which is great.
I'm so excited. Hi, everybody.
Talking about the very drunk kid. Jasleen is like, very drunk kid. Was I in Georgia?
Were you? Do you have a very nice tarot painting hung on your wall with hopefully like dart holes in it? I'm assuming it wasn't treated well after it was stolen.
I picture this kid just being like, this is the thing. I'm going to treat this. I can't show anybody that I have this picture, but right. Miss Amethyst Diamond says hi to everybody.
Oh, hi, Amethyst.
Hi, girl. Tiffany Orndorff is watching this evening.
Hi, Tiffany.
There's another question here. Where did it go? Oh, Ephraim would like to know, since you love art, do you have any tattoos?
Shockingly, no. I am tattoo free, which is weird because I love tattoos and I love the art of tattoos, but because I have so many allergies, I'm genuinely afraid to find out what ink in my skin would do. I'm like, it seems like I might be overplaying it, but like it's bad. I can't eat half of anything. I have asthma. In my first performance when I debuted, I had to build in using my inhaler on stage because I couldn't get through the number without an asthma attack.
Oh, wow.
So it just became part of it. My frail little body tries its best.
That's amazing.
Where do you see yourself as far as drag is concerned? Where do you see yourself in like 5 years' time?
I would love to be doing drag like full time, or at least doing drag and then just publishing my books. That would be the dream, is just to get back to living as an artist full time. I did that for a while when I worked in the film industry, but film was not a good fit for me because it requires at least, like actually 16-hour days usually, and like my little body, it tries. It can't do it. It's too much.
Yeah, I bet that's hard.
So I don't know. I would love to. When I first started doing drag, my goal was I'd love to doing at least one drag thing a month. One drag show, one drag like outing even, just show up at a bar and be like, hi, I put eyeshadow on my chin. Don't I look cute? And
That's what I do.
And it's been joy, and Randy Andy and the House of Randy Andy's been inviting me out to things. I was able to help my friend Leo do a fundraiser for, they had cancer and they needed help raising funds for surgery, and I was invited to go perform for them, and that was really just an honor to go up there and be like, hi, I don't have money, but I have me. Like, I am happy to help. And that, it's just been good to start doing things. And even tomorrow, I was like, oh, I see there's an open stage drag competition. Let me just DM the person running it, Harley Quinn. Hi, Harley Quinn, how you doing? Can I be there? And she's like, yeah, we actually had someone drop out. No way. So tomorrow I'm in a competition, which I was not expecting to happen. I was expecting like, oh yeah, maybe next one, but here we go. Here they're like just rolling.
Wow. And what style of what's your typical style of music to perform? Or you'd have like a broad spectrum?
It's pretty broad. I have a pretty broad taste in music in general. I do like things that have a creepy, spooky vibe to it, just because that's who I am. But that's not necessarily what ends up on stage all the time. Like my first piece was actually Uptown Funk, and I was just a gay pirate and having a great time. At the time, I was bi. I'm not sure I'm bi anymore. It's a journey. So I was a pirate. Get it? I'm so sorry.
Don't be. Don't
apologize for that.
So I've actually done like a couple things as a pirate because I just think the pun is funny, and I very much identified as bi. Now I'm kind of like, am I? I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Your energy is giving me do you know Goth Dad?
I don't, but I feel like I need to.
He's on TikTok. He's literally, he just talks like super goth dude, But oh gosh, yeah, talks like this Wisconsin dad.
I do know him.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my dad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so good. And your energy is just giving me like, I do a lot of goth stuff and it's fun, but you're so bubbly and it's great.
I know. I'm the bubbliest goth you'll probably ever meet.
I love that.
So this brings me to another, Orion, this question is amazing. We're all going to answer this one because I really like it. If you were a villain, what would your agenda be?
Mm.
I have a name and I have a plan. I would be Gabe Agenda, and it would be the gay agenda. That would be my reign of villainy, would be making sure everyone is represented. There are flags for everybody. This doesn't sound villainous at all. But you know, I would sneak into churches and leave like resources for LGBT youth. And I would want the whole plus community represented as everywhere.
You sound like a horrible person.
I know, such a villain.
I would break into people's houses and fix the feng shui.
Right. I'd break in and redecorate. Absolutely.
I love it.
No, I'd break in and move everything just a half inch or like an inch out of the way so they're all disoriented.
Everything's just slightly off.
Yes.
Oh, that would be so much fun.
Oh my God. That would be fun.
Right. From hiding in plain sight, have you found when you look at songs that would be great until you notice segments of them are out of date in terms of political correctness? And wait, have you found that when you do that would be great? I know what the question is. The sentence structure is just weird on that one. Have you found songs that just did not age well? Do you still use them?
It depends on the song. There are definitely songs where all I want is just one joke out of it. Or like, for example, I have a piece that I do to Get and By, so from My Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. But it is a very binary song.
Yes.
But it's such a fun one, and it's just like it's joyful. I'm sorry, that's the word of the night is joy. And when I first performed it, I was like, that was cool. It could be better, because I really want to represent people who are non-binary and the in-between, because that is valid and requires more representation. And I went on a deep Spotify hunt to find a song, and I found a song called Big Beautiful Babes, where it is big beautiful babes. I love my big boys with their, I don't remember all the lyrics, but I love my big boys. I love my big beautiful girls. And I love my NBs, so heavenly, so beautiful, it should be a felony. And I was like, yes. So I ended up using that. And every time he'd be like, I love my boys, I love my girls. And then I'd be like, my NBs, so heavenly. And like split that in there so that it told the story that I think needed to be told as far as like fuller representation. So yes, if I find a song I really like, as long as it's not terribly offensive or like really didn't age well, I'll usually use like a little bit of it as like a starting point or as a joke or as part of the conversation, and then piece other things together is what I try to do.
Yeah. There were so many songs in the last couple of years, since learning of the fact that the G word is a slur. Lady Gaga has a song, and that is the name of the song. And I was just like, I won't perform that anymore. And anytime I see someone else do it, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
You can't fix the world.
Nope.
Cher's Dark Lady has the G word in it. And I'm like, nope, not going to do that one anymore.
Come on, Cher.
Right. Cher has a couple songs with that word in it. One's the title of a song. So
yeah,
there's a musical that's named that. And I'm like, and like, I know there's a lot of contention over that's not what that word means anymore, but at the same time, it doesn't matter. That's what the word means. It was a word created, a derogatory term for two sets of people. So yeah. There's that.
Now I'm sad.
I thought about like dubbing Dark Lady. So dance to her mystic music. Like just the worst edit in the world.
You might as well. Why not?
Just to be like, hey, don't say this word anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, unpopular opinion, I think there's a lot of importance in keeping those things in history too.
Agreed.
You know what I mean?
Like understanding the morphology of the word. Ooh, I got into the big words today.
Proud of you.
I love linguistic morphology.
Ooh. Whoa. Damn. Use that vocabulary. It's getting.
That's all the big words I got. Now we got to do some poop jokes.
Got to balance it out.
But exactly. But no, like the etymology or the origin of the G word was a slur against Romani people, insinuating that they were Egyptian.
Oh.
That's not a great thing.
No.
It's dumb.
Yeah. But that was the insult. We're going to insult you by saying you're this other ethnic group.
That you're not.
None of it's insulting, but it was meant to be. So
it was meant to be, yeah.
Whammy, which is why I won't say the G word.
Fine. Fine. I'll let it pass.
You'll let it.
I'll let it pass. Fine.
Got a good question here from Jasleen, a former Miss Gay Pennsylvania right here. Do you think that drag kings should involve drag into their performances instead of jeans and a hat? Or share your thoughts on kings that don't do drag?
So by drag, do you mean the full makeup? I'm going to assume like the binding and body augmentation as part of a representation. I did not write that sentence.
Yeah, you did.
So I genuinely think drag has a spectrum of representation. It could be just, I want to dress masculine and I want to do jeans and a hat. And that is what I have as far as like resources go. And that is valid. And I think that's important that not every king has like the financial backing or queens to like really just do more than just Abercrombie and Fitch drag. You know, we all start somewhere, although that's an expensive brand. So I don't know. But I thrift everything, I'll be honest. I think it's all valid. And I personally really like a more stylized drag. I like to see the body augmentation, but especially when it comes to like non-binary representation in drag, you just gotta let the drag be an art form. There's lots of different ways to do it. There's lots of different ways to be an artist. And that's how I feel about it. You know, if what you have is jeans and a hat and that's what you want to do to represent your drag, rock it, do it. If you want to do a full like glittery cape with, I don't know, LED slugs that climb up the side because you're some sort of king of the underworld, awesome. Why not? That's valid too.
Sure.
I'm here for that.
Sure.
Once I get puppetry involved, we'll see what happens.
Oh God, I love it.
Ooh, here's another good question from Alex.
Hi.
What would 12-year-old you say if they could see how awesome you all are now?
Aw, 12-year-old me would not believe that I am the person today. She'd be like, wait, you're pretty, you're confident, you're on stage doing stuff, you're not afraid of what anyone else has to say, you're not trying to fit in so that you fly under the radar anymore, you're doing art like professionally. I think she'd be really proud of me.
Aww.
Yeah.
How about
and surprised. Surprised and proud.
Yeah.
Surprised and proud. I think 12-year-old me would just be like, Oh, okay, it makes sense now. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, all that makes sense now. Yeah, now I see the vision. That's where we were heading. So we were correct. Um, so yeah, 12-year-old me. Oh, yeah, I think even at that time I knew I was on some sort of path that was different. So um I think 12-year-old me would be elated to know that this was the outcome.
Aw.
So yeah, yeah, I think I'd be all right.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Like 12-year-old me was definitely a little queer kid figuring out his way in the world and this. So natural progression.
Natural progression.
Here we are, just 10 years later.
Oh,
Doing fabulous. Aw.
Young and supple. Oh, Lord Jesus.
oh.
Yes.
Oh,
Ooh. Jasleen got a heavy question here.
Ooh, I'm ready.
oh,
Let's do this.
How do you feel about mixing religion with drag?
Do we want to talk about religious trauma? Because boy, do I have it.
Oh God.
I think it's great. I think a great place to kind of explore your questions about it and maybe your frustrations with it. I grew up very, very Roman Catholic, and that was part of why it took me so long to realize, oh, hey, I could be gay. Because it just wasn't an option. My particular church wasn't a hateful one. It was very like accepting of everybody, but it wasn't like talked about. Being gay wasn't really an option. It just wasn't. It just didn't exist. And yeah, I would definitely say there's some religious trauma that I am still working through, just based on things that were very much indoctrinated in me growing up. And I love being sacrilegious in my art and my drag, although I have not done a whole lot of that in my drag yet. It's definitely something I'm looking forward to doing.
Gotcha. How about you, Amethyst?
Yeah, I do think that there is, with this art form, we get to express many different things on many different levels. And I think a lot of us, when we were younger growing up, we were, forced into religion and forced into going to church. Some of us, not all of us. But I think it's not fun. Well, it's fun now to be able to take those stories and those idealistic things and put a spin on them and make them art. I mean, I consider myself to be a spiritual person. Is it black and white Bible pages? No, it is not. But I think there's a tasteful bit of art in all of that should be expressed, and I think it's fun, especially in drag, because you can take that a whole nother level. So yeah, I don't see an issue with it as long as you're not, forcing, over forcing an opinion, saying this is right or this is wrong. As long
Yeah.
as there is an artistic value to it, I think it's fine.
I agree. I usually avoid religion and drag, but there have been times where I'm like, this moment calls for this, or this moment calls for this. I consider myself an omnist, which means I believe all religions are inherently correct because they all bring faith and they all bring something to those who follow them. And it's not for me to say what is right and what is wrong. Simple as that. So I believe there is truth to everything. Even if it's just the inherent belief that makes it true to that person. So I usually avoid it. If I do anything that has a religious angle to it, I try to make it a positive. I try to make it a wonderful, a joyous celebration. Stuff like that. Speaking of joyous celebrations.
Oh,
that's a horrible segue. My husband has a
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I was trying for a thing there. It just did not. It sounded great in my head.
Segways, they're not your thing, sis. Segways aren't your thing.
No, I fall right off of them all the time. I just woo.
Just like look over there.
Right.
Look over there.
So every other week, my husband has an amazing drag tip. He is the show director for Divas Down Under. For any drag performers who are looking to get into Divas Down Under, please contact Derek. Contacting me won't help you. Just wanted to throw that out there because it's not my show. But this week, I didn't even get a chance to read this one. So we're all going to experience this together. Yep. Derek's helpful drag tip this week is do test runs of your drag at home and in a controlled environment. Put it on and look at it in different lighting conditions. This is especially important with undergarments and tights. 10 minutes at home will keep you from looking like Boo Boo the Fool with no matchy syndrome at the gig. Hashtag flash photography shows everything.
Yeah, it does.
Drag is hard, okay?
Yes,
it's
it is.
Really hard. I can't help it. You showing up with your good ass camera and your flash photography, you can see my hips. I'm sorry about it. Okay? Sorry about it. I feel very attacked right now.
Oh God. It's true though. It is so true. You know, I had a lovely experience at Divas Down Under. I don't know what happened. I got into body. I was feeling right. I put on my first bodysuit. My hips shifted. I was like, why are they down there?
Oh no.
I can't fix this now. There's no time. So I just did the whole show with weirdly bulby hips. And I was like, you know what? It's fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
It's a shape.
It's a shape.
It's a shape on
I wasn't a box.
It's fine.
I definitely learned that one during my debut show. Thankfully, with the workshop, we had a dress rehearsal. So when I was rehearsing at home, no problems. I rehearsed in the costume because I had tearaways and stuff, but I did not rehearse with my chest bound. And the dress rehearsal, I did it with as flat as I could get. And as the asthmatic that I am, I learned very quickly that binding your chest makes it much harder to breathe when you're dancing. And thank goodness I had that rehearsal because I literally, after doing my one rehearsal, was just like, I have to untape like right now and just focus on breathing for the rest of our session here. And the next day I went much looser, just for my own like ability to breathe. Yeah, I'm building up to it. We'll get bound eventually.
We got another good question here. And of course, Derek has to go in with another good one. Drag has been such a hot button issue politically, especially during the most recent election. And this is especially true when it comes to drag story hours. Do you think it would be wise for us as a community to pull back on a little on such events to allow the heat to cool off?
No. Honestly, I have a I'm doing a benefit this coming Sunday in Red Lion, Pennsylvania, for the Red Lion Alliance Fire Hall, I believe. And you would not imagine the amount of flack that the community of Red Lion has given this event, saying how their churches and their organizations will stop funding the fire hall if this kind of event goes on, and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, you do realize you're protesting the benefit of a fire hall in your community. So if that fire hall does not have the money and the funds, when your house catches fire, heaven forbid, nothing happens. You know what I mean? Like, it just blows my mind that there's that much ignorance in the world that just because it's a drag show, they will refuse the thousands of dollars that will be made for a safety issue in their community. Mm-hmm. So, no, I don't think it is. No, we're going to be quiet. No, we've been there, done that. We're not doing it.
I agree.
I think there is a level of self-awareness that the drag community has to have right now. We've talked about it before. Tonight, I went and did the event for Yelp. And I was looking at my clothes and I was like, well, I don't know if there are families there. I don't know if there's an age limit. So I'm going to dress more conservatively than, you know, if I was just doing a regular show. And I'm glad I did because there was a family there having dinner. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to be swearing. I'm not going to be crass. I'm not going to make sex jokes, because you have to be aware of your audience.
Yes.
We've talked about this before with, you know, drag performers going into schools. If the school has a dress code, do the dress code.
Yes.
Right.
Like, yes, we are performers and we are supposed to be extravagant, but at the same time, we have to be respectful of the space we are given.
Absolutely.
But that doesn't mean we are sacrificing any of our drag.
No.
Yeah. Like, I agree. I think being quiet is not something that helps anybody.
No.
It doesn't help. It doesn't help anyone understand it better. It doesn't help the kids that can have better understanding of gender expression. But you do be aware of your audience. You know, if it's an all ages event, you have to kind of adjust it a little bit, and that's okay. When I was up in Northeastern Mass for Lou DeFlyest, their benefit, it was an all ages event, and there were kids there, and they were having a great time, and like the performers did a really good job of just, you know, mildly adjusting so that it was more family friendly. You know, maybe you don't tear your pants off on that one. You go with a different gag. It's okay.
Well, and people around here get heated every Pride Month because our Pride out here is family friendly and we have a dress code. And people hate it every year when we say there's a dress code. And they're just like, you can't quiet me. I'm like, there are children here. We're not quieting you, ma'am. Put your tits in your shirt, please.
Yeah.
Like,
right. There will be an after party for such things, I assure you. But you know, at high noon, keep it together. Okay?
Yeah. There was a woman at Pride this year, and I wanted to go up and say something to her, but I was also like, not my job. Literally just watching the drag show, cheering, and I was like, ma'am, your boobs are not in your shirt.
I'm sorry. My bra was too small. I forgot.
I know, and I've told you time and time again, keep Thelma and Louise under wraps. But we also get the girl.
And Thelma and Louise make a nice guest appearance. Lovely.
But we also get it from the leather community, who is just like, why can't I just wear my assless chaps? I'm like, because there are families there. There are events for that stuff. Central Pennsylvania Pride is not one of those. Yes, you can be kinky, you can live your best life, but it's still a public space. You know, if you want to do that, go to Folsom. Like, I know people who go to Folsom every year and like, have fancy, how you doing? Like, it's not my cup of tea, but you know what? Have fun. But yeah, like, sorry, I went on my little TED talk for a second. Yeah, they're just there's a level of self-awareness that drag performers have to have. We have to remember we are in the public eye and we do have a certain level of celebrity around us, and people are ready to pounce on any negative thing we do. So we cannot give them that opportunity. Oh, yeah. We must still perform, we must still be brave, but we also have to be able to continue performing.
Right. We have to be smarter. We have to be smarter and ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Because they're looking for an opportunity.
Exactly.
And there are people in our community who are going to give it to them, thinking they're doing the right thing. Yeah. Not realizing the repercussions. So
exactly. Yeah. Well, we do have time for one more question. It is almost time to wrap up, but I wanted to save this question once again from the incredible Alex.
Aww.
How different would you say you are from your drag persona? Or is your drag persona no different than who you feel you are, just dressed fabulously?
Aww.
She loves you.
I love her. We're also newlyweds. We got married in September.
Aww.
Look at it. I love it. I can feel that. I love
to answer the question, one second. I need to call. Too much laughing. I kind of feel like I'm mostly myself. I would say being Darren has made me a lot braver and a lot more outgoing in my Jeanette life. I definitely don't care when people stare at me at the grocery store anymore because I am dressed strangely. I'm like, honey, you're just lucky I don't have a beard on right now.
Same.
Right? It's pretty much just me. I'm just a big goofball who just, wants to have fun.
I love that. How about you, Amethyst?
I think it was a changing over the years, honestly. Yes, Dustin and Amethyst are definitely two different people, but I think we've learned to merge a lot of those avenues that were between us. I think we both have grown from each other in many ways. So I would say Amethyst is an elevated version of Dustin. Out of drag, I'm pretty laid back and chill. But in drag, I have to be, a superhero. I have to be above and beyond. So I would say I'm definitely an introvert with an extrovert's job in that aspect. But I've learned to become an extrovert outside of drag as well. So they complement each other.
Girl, that is why you and I get along, because I used to say introvert in an extrovert's job all the time.
Yeah.
That's who I was. And Jade and Mitch have definitely merged a lot more.
Yeah.
When doing an interview for the show I did tonight, they asked me, are you and Jade the same? I was like, no, we're very different. Jade's my creation and I'm very proud of her.
Aww.
And it's true, she is fiction, but she's a fiction I'm proud of because I created her.
She's your imagination come to life.
Yeah.
Exactly. She's my sleep paralysis demon.
Oh,
right.
Fancy.
Right. Right.
Well, we have reached the end of our episode for this evening, but I want to play one last game before we go. And this is for Darren.
Okay.
What is one thing you want to ask Amethyst?
Ooh. There's a dumb question, but I'll ask a better one. The dumb question is, how heavy is that crown?
Oh, it's not heavy at all.
No?
The
How
crown
about the weight of the responsibilities that come with the crown?
It was 20 years in the making, and I was ready to carry this thing.
I love it. I love it so much.
It's not heavy at all. I've been working out for 20 years for this.
You were ready. That strength, that core strength was built for it.
Absolutely. Bring it on, baby. Bring it on.
I love
it.
Well, then, Amethyst, what is one question you have for Jade DeVere?
Huh. What is one question? It's funny because I know you, so I'm like, what don't I know about Jade DeVere? Oh wow, that's really hard. Why is that so difficult?
Right? It's weird. That's why I love this.
Oh wow. Wow, that's terrible. What? What?
Just what?
Just what?
A notepad and a pen.
Great. What? If you were not doing drag today, what would you be doing?
I would still be performing. I wouldn't be doing drag. I don't think I wouldn't be the person I am. Jade has definitely given me a confidence that I lacked before. An ability to edit that I didn't have before. But yeah, I would still be a performer. I just don't think I wouldn't love it as much, I don't think.
I Oh, okay.
And
I like that.
lastly, Jade DeVere, what's a question you have for everyone else?
Oh.
This is a question I got tonight at bingo, and I love this question. It threw me for a loop. What is the question we're not asking, or we're not being asked enough?
Personally,
As drag performers.
as drag performers, what's the question we're not getting asked enough?
How do you take off the glitter beard?
I think that's the correct answer.
Everyone wants to know how to put it on. No one asks how to take it off. That's the hard part.
I would just say the why we do it in
Aw,
general.
yeah.
I think if more people understood why we do it, it would change a lot of people's minds and perspectives, and be okay with a bunch of drag queens raising money for a fire hall. You know what I mean? Or to read to children, or to celebrate our coming out and who we are and our heritage. Every year at Pride festivals all over. I think it's the why that needs to be asked. Really, like, I do this to change the world. I do this as a artistic and emotional outlet. I do it to be a superhero to my community. I do it to raise better kids and better generations and better people. I do this to be better, and that needs to be asked. Why? Yeah, why? That's why.
So, I love that.
Yeah,
that was the correct answer.
That's an amazing answer.
Right.
Exactly.
Who's going to argue that?
Yeah. Well, and I think that's a common thing, because my question was, I wish more people would just ask about doing drag instead of just assuming they know what drag is.
Right.
Like tonight at bingo, half the audience didn't know what a drag king was.
Right.
Yeah.
Most of them didn't understand that, like, cis women can be drag queens. Like, they don't understand. And it's just, drag is everything. Drag is for everyone,
Which is why we do this show.
Exactly. And that's why this show exists. Well, everyone, we are at the end of our time for this evening, but I wanted to give everyone a chance to say goodnight to all of our viewers. And we're going to start with Amethyst.
Absolutely. First and foremost, our special guest tonight, Darren, you've been, to say you're a pleasure would just not do you justice. You have been a joy. You have brought warmth into my heart. And I applaud you and I support you. And I can't wait until we do this again, because you'll be back on the show again, I am sure. And maybe when Jade and I come up to Provincetown, we can get into a gig together and we can all do this in person. That'd be really fun.
That'd be amazing.
It's only 6 hours, right, Jade? It's only 6 hours.
Just 6 hours.
Just 6 hours.
Yeah. No problem. I do that round trip to go to Rehoboth. Not a big deal. So yeah, thank you so much for being a part of our world and a part of our show. This is episode 115?
Yep.
That's incredible.
Episodes. It's incredible. We're doing a good thing. We're doing, as they say, the Lord's work.
Yes.
So hallelujah, praise Jesus, pass the pecan pie. And just your joy. Congratulations on your success. Congratulations on your artwork.
Thank you.
Especially on your marriage and your beautiful, beautiful wife. Congratulations on becoming a part of the Alphabet City.
It's a beautiful city.
We welcome you wholeheartedly, my dear. So thank you for being a part of this tonight.
Thank you.
To my homegirl Jade over there, and another one for the records, and another one. And we're going to keep on doing this. We're not going to stop. We are the dynamic duo. We are available for birthday parties, bar mitzvahs, and funerals, pride festivals, all those things. So call us and book us. And to you, the viewers, mwah, we love you. To our Patreon subscribers, more content on the way. You'll see us on the road. I love you, and I'm going to shut up now. So thanks.
How about you, Darren? What do you want to say to everyone?
I don't know. I'm just had a great time tonight. It was very amazing just talking to you guys and getting to know you better. I've been Instagram and YouTube stalking you ever since I figured out what Inside the Drag Closet was, and I was just like, this is amazing. I love that you guys do this, and the people that you have on the show and the conversations you have. I think these are very important conversations, and I'm glad you're having them. To everybody who tuned in tonight, thank you. Everybody who's listening in the future, hi, bring friends, have everyone subscribe in like all of the ways.
All the ways.
I love that. Darren, you have been an absolute joy to have here tonight. And it's so funny just scrolling through TikTok. Every once in a while, you'll be like, that person. I need to know them. And you were one of the ones that caught my attention. I was like, and that was before I knew you were only doing it for less than a year.
Surprise!
Like, so good.
Thank you.
You are on such a good path, and I'm so excited to see where this journey takes you. Congratulations, like Amethyst said, on joining the big queer family.
That's right. It's important to have family like us in your life. You know what I mean? We make big gay rainbow together. So, and for
I've never
everybody
felt so like loved, appreciated, accepted. Just like I fit. Like I finally fit. I make sense now. It's good to be part of the big rainbow family.
It is. And for everybody out there who we're all going through something in our lives. We're all spinning on this great big rock together, but know that you are loved, know that you are valid, know that it's okay not to be okay, and know that we are here for you. So please reach out to your friends, reach out to your family, reach out to somebody who may need you, and reach out to us because we're here for you. So we love you out there. Just wanted to let you know that.
And check in on your friends. You know, check in with them. If you don't hear from someone for a while, I texted a friend earlier today. I was like, girl, next week we're doing dinner.
Let's go.
I know she's been going through a lot lately. I was like, let's hang out.
Right.
And so, yeah, check on your friends, take care of each other, get your tickets for Divas Down Under. I believe they are going on sale Saturday for our Jingle Bell Rock Drag Show with Poison, Jade DeVere, Chastity Vane, Diamond Taylor, Katarina Couture, Amethyst Diamond, and Paula Frost from LTV Season 4 of Camp Wanakiki. It is going to be ridiculous. Did you like how I just threw that in there?
I love it.
As soon as we created a group chat for the show, this one had all of her songs picked out.
Solid. Good job.
So now I ain't got shit to perform.
Just ready. You got to be ready. Snap them up first.
You ain't got to get ready if you stay ready. Boo.
Right. I'd come up with a Krampus number, but Pola already does that. So I'll come up with something. Well, everyone, thank you all for joining us this evening. We hope you had an amazing evening with us. Come back in 2 weeks. We are going to, Amethyst and I are actually working on some guests for that episode. And
oh my God.
If we get who we want, you are not prepared.
I'm going to pee.
It's so excited. It's going to be hopefully a gay America kind of evening.
Oh, it will be excellence at its epitome.
Indeed. And I will also be there.
Yeah.
So everyone, take care of each other. Remember, be the beauty you would like to see in the world. And good night.
Night.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us on Inside the Drag Closet.